Welcome to today's session on creating compelling visuals for club promotion and outreach, brought to you by Sertoma. In an age dominated by visual content, mastering the art of creating impactful visuals is essential for effectively promoting our clubs and reaching out to our communities. Throughout this session, we'll explore strategies, tools, and best practices to craft visuals that not only capture attention, but also convey our mission and values with clarity and creativity. Let's embark on this journey together to enhance your club's visibility and engagement through the power of compelling visuals. Did you know that there are 4 basic types of photography and that they can all have a place in your club's communication and marketing work? We should think about these styles in terms of their purpose or content rather than specific technical aspects. They include lifestyle, documentary, posed, and artistic. Posed is going to be the most obvious style to most of us because it's what we use in things like group shots or check presentations. Adversely, lifestyle photography aims to capture the things in a more natural and candid way. It's less formal. Documentarian photography focuses on storytelling, like showing your club's mission work in action. And artistic photography is just what it sounds like: creative interpretation and personal expression. It often deviates from literal representation to evoke emotion, concept, or abstract ideas. So why should we even bother? Well, that part's easy. We all know that we live in a quick consumption society today. Visual media allows us to tell our stories and share our messaging more quickly. With so many tools and professionals out there, creating these elements are almost just as easy. It allows us to be more creative and provides greater opportunity for extended engagement. Especially compelling elements will set us apart. Simply put, tech giant Adobe explains that in general, photos and videos are easier for teams to create and for the audience to absorb. Let's expand on this a little by exploring 4 best practices. Number 1, tell your club's story. When I'm doing this for Sertoma, I often start by thinking backward. What is the message I'm trying to convey? Once I have crafted the caption or description for the visual media, I can more easily decide how I want to create or utilize the photograph, artwork, or video. The goal is always to be engaging and compelling as to encourage the audience to act, read more, or engage. BDI Agency, a nonprofit marketing firm, tells us that a picture is worth 1,000 blurbs. It's not just enough to show heart-tugging photos to get a donor's attention. We must strive to tell the story behind the visuals that we show. Number 2, it's a mood. Research has shown that demonstrating different emotions in photos evoke different actions from audiences. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital has found that showing images of smiling, happy faces are more likely to boost engagement, while sadder faces tend to create a sense of urgency that makes people act through things like volunteering and donating. Decide the intention you're trying to create and utilize photos with emotions that reflect that story. Number 3, to video or not to video? That is the question. Both have their place, but when should you use which? Whether you're creating it yourself or hiring a professional, you need to ask yourself 3 questions. What are you trying to say? Who are you trying to say it to? And where are you going to say it? For instance, if you're trying to educate a group of local residents about a new summer camp, a video can be helpful. If you're trying to show progress updates on a park beautification project to donors, a slideshow may be more effective. And number 4, genuine and unfiltered, or basically, be yourself. BDI Agency encourages nonprofits to embrace authenticity, even if it isn't always as polished as we'd like. Don't be afraid to pull away from the herd and show your club's human side. They give us the example of a rescue mission, which serves people struggling with homelessness, hunger, addiction, and abuse. These are heavy issues for many of us to see, but BDI emphasizes that showing the reality of these hardships with photos and videos, especially those with subjects' permission, can help an audience better understand the mission they're supporting and the individuals they're helping. One of the most common statements I hear from clubs when we talk about visual media is that they don't know how to do it. Who's going to do all the work? Let's talk through 3 options and how your club might use each. First, we have the member. This is the most typical in our clubs and totally suitable for most situations. A quick snapper video on your smartphone is going to be better than nothing, and nearly everyone carries theirs with them 24/7 these days. I would suggest having a dedicated volunteer to do this when you're talking about a specific event, meeting, or celebration just so that you ensure you have someone focused on capturing the most important pictures and videos. For your bigger events and very special occasions, you might want to let the professionals handle it. Photographers and videographers are trained in everything from lighting and composition to editing and other post-production. If you feel like you need perfection, they're the route to go. Just make sure that you budget realistically for their services. Photographers can be costly, and like many things, you often get what you pay for. And finally, there are times when stock images will work just fine, like in this presentation. I can add visual elements to presentations using photos and artwork available in online libraries to help tell my story. There are dozens and dozens of free and for-pay sites out there, but I have listed 4 free ones that many nonprofits use. I tend to stick to Canva and Pixabay for Sertoma, but Pexels and FreePic are 2 other resources that you might find beneficial for your club. All right, now let's get to the question you're all waiting for. How can I do it myself? For that, we turn to the experts at Hone Marketing, a company dedicated to digital design and marketing for nonprofits. They have shared their practical tips and tricks to help organizations make the most of our most common tool, the smartphone. First up, get to know your phone. Explore the settings and check out the different features. Make sure to find auto mode, the novice's best friend that will often do just fine. You'll also need to make sure that you're keeping your smartphone clean. Make sure that there aren't smudges and fingerprints on your lens. Keep a microfiber cloth handy so that you can clean away any of those issues that can impact the clarity of your photos and videos. And of course, experiment. Practice makes perfect, right? The more you use your phone, the better you'll be. Learn from your mistakes, refine as needed, and repeat, repeat, repeat again. Remember that lighting is your friend. Natural lighting is often best when you can get it. When shooting outdoors, opt for golden hour if you can. This is that time of early morning or late evening when natural light is softest and most flattering. When shooting inside, know the temperature. I don't mean how hot or cold you feel, but rather the concept of warm versus cool lighting. The warmer the light, the more natural and true to color your photos and videos will be. Harsh lighting, like fluorescent, is often much darker. Again, make sure you understand your phone settings because you might be able to do some manual adjusting prior to shooting to help you along. Accessorize, even on a budget. Spend a little bit of money to get those tools that can help make all the difference. This may mean a smartphone tripod for shooting videos if your hands sometimes shake like mine, or a selfie stick if you want to take photos that include yourself or overhead shots of large crowds. A handheld stabilizer is another accessory that can help improve the stability of your shots. A quick search on a site like Amazon will show you that you don't have to spend a huge amount to get meaningful results. Practice the rule of thirds. Imagine a frame is divided into 9 equal parts like shown here. You want to have the main subject or point of interest along these lines or at the intersections to draw your audience in. Hone Marketing notes that it keeps things not only balanced but also provides visually appealing composition. Many smartphones may have grid line options to help you maintain a straight horizon and make the rule of thirds possible. As of this recording, for an iPhone, it's in the Photos and Camera part of your Settings app. On Androids, check out the Settings section of the Camera application. I want to remind you again to think before you snap. Well, really, it's plan before you snap. Think about what story you want to tell and then plan your shots accordingly. Make a checklist of photos you want to take or footage you want to capture. Is landscape, also known as horizontal, better, or do you need more vertical photos with portrait mode? It may help to write your messaging first to ensure that you have the different elements you want when it comes to time to post, present, produce, or publish. Keep in mind, editing is okay, but over-editing is not. You want things and situations to look like what they are, and for people to look like who they are. It is totally okay to use settings and editing tools to adjust your brightness, contrast, and color, or to crop your photos. Just make sure you're keeping things recognizable. Back up your work. I'm always drawing on older photos for newer pieces, and that's made easy because we have a good storage system in place. You can opt for local storage on something like a flash or external hard drive, but that means that only those with a physical component have access. Cloud storage allows for group sharing. Services can include Apple's iCloud, Google Drive, or Microsoft's OneDrive. With all this said, I want to point out the video is going to be a little different. We mentioned orientation earlier. This is even more important for video. especially when you're posting to social media. Platforms like TikTok work better with vertical video, while Facebook is better with the horizontal landscape mode. Instagram can handle both. Anything that is going to be shown on TV or on a projector should be shot in landscape. In short, just make sure you're keeping the end result in mind. Audio is something else that you have to think about with video. You may need to invest in an external microphone and or secure a quiet space for recording. Background noise can be a killer. There are some editing tools that can help, but without knowledge, you're likely going to be limited. The rule of thumb with mics seems to be you get what you pay for, but even something is better than nothing. In a pinch, you can even use the built-in microphone in your headphones, if nothing else. And now we come back to something I said at the very beginning. Practice, 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 and then practice some more. The more you do it, the better you'll be. Don't be afraid to ask questions or to do a little research. You don't have to be a pro to be a productive visual communicator for your club. As we conclude our session, think about how the powerful impact of visual content can aid your club in effectively communicating your mission and engaging your community. By harnessing the techniques and insights discussed here today, whether it's mastering composition, understanding lighting, or leveraging digital tools, we can enhance our club's visibility and strengthen connections with our audience. Let's continue to innovate, collaborate, and creatively showcase the passion and purpose that defines Sertoma. Together, through compelling visuals, we can inspire action, foster community involvement, and drive positive change. We have additional resources on this and many other topics important to our clubs available in the Member Center section of sertoma.org. See examples of other clubs' work when you join our Facebook group at the link on the screen. Here's to visual storytelling and the impactful images that resonate and inspire within Sertoma and beyond.